Hi everyone, I'm Naz and I'm 16. I'm currently a sophomore at a Robert College and this is my first YouTube video. And in this channel, I'll mainly be talking about books and maybe some sorts of movies and stuff, but the majority of the time I'll be talking about books. So I really love biology and I wanted to do something related with pharmacology in the future, but in my spare time I really love reading, especially thrillers and romances, but also books that explore society and what it means to be human. Today in my first video I'm going to dive into The Fire Next Time by James Baldwin. It's a very powerful thought-provoking book that dives into ethnicities, racism, identity, and so on. So let's dive right in. So The Fire Next Time consists of two letters that Baldwin wrote in 1963. The first one is My Dungeon Shook, I believe, and is dedicated to his nephew. And the second one is kind of an open letter that mostly emphasizes the religion, the relationship between the religion, specifically the Black church, and racism. And Baldwin himself is an African American activist, so he really takes his own experience and relates it to the overall Black experience in America, which makes this book so powerful. It's a short read, but every line is really dense with meaning, and you can read it numerous times and still learn new things each time. And besides the overall Black experience in America, he also writes about identity, belonging, and forgiveness in this book, especially between the white group and the Black group, as he sees the issue of, as he believes that the root cause under racism is not communicating between these groups. So that's this whole book, and we'll explore it now. So the first theme that Baldwin explores is identity and how it's shaped by society. In America, Black people devalue themselves because of how specifically white people perceive Black people through the lens of the society. And it's not harmful just for the Black people, but also for the white people, because it prevents the communication between two groups, which is not healthy at all. So another theme is love and acceptance. Baldwin really sees the solution of racism as love and accepting two ethnic groups, because he believes that in order to solve all of the racist issues and just have a better and more just world overall, two groups should accept each other, not only just white people accepting Black people, but also Black people accepting white people, because Black people should accept what white people are doing to them. First, they should embrace it, and then they should move and act in order to change it. Same goes with white people. There is no way in denying that Black people don't deserve as much as white people do. They definitely do deserve, because all of us are humans, all of us have equal rights. So both groups should really accept each other and just communicate through the whole process. There's also this exploration of religion and its role in people's life. So Baldwin overall had a very complicated relation with the church. In the letter from a region in my mind, first he talks about how church can be used in order to unite Black people together and create a sense of community. But throughout the pages, we learn that it can actually be used as a way to subject Black inferiority to Black people, to make them accept that they're no better than white people, which is simply not true. But the Black church kind of makes Black people accept their fate rather than acting for change. So now I want to share a few quotes that really resonated with me. For example, Baldwin writes, "Love takes off the masks we fear and we cannot live without, and no, we cannot live within." This line is powerful because it speaks to love as a force that encourages vulnerability and authenticity. We often wear masks to hide parts of ourselves that we fear society will judge. For Black Americans, these masks, especially for Black Americans, these masks are really valid, because we know that they're constantly being judged by white people. Their actions, even their smallest act, can lead to can lead to big consequences just because of their race. So oftentimes they limit themselves, they limit what they really are in order to not be judged by society. For white Americans, these masks often mean avoidance and ignorance, distancing themselves from the realities of racial inequalities, just assuming that it's simply not there. And Baldwin suggests that in order to have a more peaceful world and more just world where everyone is equal, we should all remove these masks and just be authentic throughout the process. Also, throughout the book, we observe that Baldwin claims that racism is because of fear, because throughout the history, Black people have always been positioned below white people, and white people simply do not know it any other way. They have always been taught that way, so they have no idea what it's like the other ways, what it's like to be equal. So they're scared of new things, they're scared of change. That's why they commit these racist acts, because they don't know what the future will bring. So Baldwin says that this isn't the solution, and in terms of acceptance, white people should really move forward because there's nothing to be scared of. That's why he suggests communication. And also, on the surface level, while these masks may seem protective, all they do is ultimately trapping us and avoiding the acknowledgement of racism. All of us know that solving this issue isn't going to be easy, that acceptance and love isn't going to be by passive actions, but rather it will be an active commitment with truth, and that confronts biases that both groups have for each other. And this love is essential for dismantling racism, as it urges both groups to face each other with honesty. And unless we embrace this ideology, we risk postponing inevitable conflicts that arise from ignoring our shared community. So now I want to focus more on this. And the quote is, "If we do not dare everything, the fulfillment of that prophecy, recreated from the Bible in a song by a slave, is upon us. God gave Noah the rainbow sign, no more water, the fire next time." So we can see that, I believe it was the last sentence of the second letter, which is the last sentence of the overall book. This really creates a sense of urgency, because no one takes action if it isn't encouraged by other people, because if you don't feel that a issue is significant or urgent, you are less likely to take action in order to fix that issue. But what Baldwin is trying to do here is create a sense of urgency and importance that emphasizes the issue. And he does this not only in this part of the book, but rather throughout the book. He uses numerous rhetorical devices such as repetition and exemplifications and analogies, allusions, and such, to really make the readers understand the devastating after effects of racism, the devastating consequences of racism, and by underscoring how common it is. And with these, the readers, especially the Black community and the white community, feel the urge to make change, because the situation is so severe that it simply cannot go this way, and they really feel more encouraged to accept each other and feel this issue. So focusing more on the allusion of the Noah's Ark, the God sent a huge flood to the island, I believe, because he thought that humanity failed because there were so many unjust acts within the groups, and he have told Noah that he needs to escape there because otherwise he would die. And he told Noah to collect people that were good, and Noah told everyone that there's going to be a disaster, you should get in my boat. And the people who really trusted Noah and wanted good got in the boat, and the bad people stayed on the island. And what happened eventually was that the bad people perished while Noah and others survived. So it's a similar analogy and allusion, because if we don't do something in order to fix racism, fix racial issues soon, there'll be severe consequences that will harm humanity and humans overall. So we need to put a stop to this before that time comes. And if we don't, it will lead to even greater struggles tomorrow. Besides the racial issues, reading this book made me think about empathy and listening, especially with people who have different experiences than me, because as you know, his experience and mine are very different, but everyone encounters similar interactions. And Baldwin's words really challenge you to think about how we treat each other and whether we're willing to confront uncomfortable truths, which was really apparent in this book. And for me, it was a reminder of how we should always stay open, empathetic, and compassionate with others in order to live a better life, in order to live a happier life. And empathy he made me realize that empathy isn't always easy, but on the long run, it's really beneficial for us, and that we should really commit ourselves to empathy and such acts if we want to live a better life. Also, it's really interesting to read Baldwin's work today and see how some things haven't changed. It makes you wonder what we can learn from the past and how much more we have to do, because it's undeniable that we have made so much progress, especially in actions about racism, yet we still have so much more in order to make a better world. And it's definitely going to stay with me, and I recommend it to anyone who wants to understand more about American history, race, the Black experience in America, and the human relationships in general, because it's really a book that touches upon all these subjects very deeply, even though it's a very short book. So that's my take on The Fire Next Time. Thank you so much for watching and listening me sharing my thoughts. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have enjoyed it, don't forget to subscribe and leave a like. And if you have any book recommendations or any comments or questions about this book, The Fire Next Time, you can leave it in the comments. Thank you so much, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.